tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello and welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's recap of the hit TBS sitcom Clipped. I am Mark Freeman, Mark J. Freeman. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot it. How dare I? Make sure you guys are using hashtag ABTV Clipped while we're broadcasting live here. We do have a live studio audience today. That's why we look a little different than we normally do in our studios. Let's go down the line and tell everybody who's here. And why don't you give out your Twitter handles as you introduce yourself so that when we get questions, they can just tweet you guys. So let's start down here with our diva in charge.
Thank you, HBC. Diona Reasonover, at Diona Reasonover on Twitter, and if you can spell it, more points to you.
Hi, everybody. I am Cameron Lewis at The Only Camshaft on Twitter and Instagram, hosting the show with Jordana and Mark today.
Yep. Yes.
I am Jordana Morfin, and you guys can follow me at Jordana_Morfin.
You can follow me on Lorraine Love, LORAYNE, or Living for the Hair.
Hi, I'm Mike Castle. You can follow me at @MagicMikeCastle.
That's really good, man.
Thanks. Really good.
Hi, I'm Ashley Tisdale, and I'm at Ashley Tisdale.
I don't know where I'm looking at, by the way.
To the left of that light.
I guess I could look at the people. I'm Ryan Pinkston, and I'm at Ryan_Pinkston on Instagram and Twitter. So.
Oh, wow.
I'm to be consistent. Yeah.
I'm Lauren Lapkus, and I am at Lauren Lapkus on Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr.
Yeah. Are we getting that fancy? Because I can give out my LinkedIn.
All right, you guys, make sure you guys are watching us on YouTube and you comment below once we post these onto YouTube. And make sure you go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating on our podcast. So that's where you can find us. And let's get to the recap of this episode. It's probably good that I couldn't pause and rewind. I have a lot less notes than I normally have. Because I normally am laughing half the time and I have to stop at AFTERBUZZ and rewatch everything because these people are so funny. But, so let's start from the beginning. Hold on, I got to get to the beginning of my notes now. Ooh, we're falling apart. So, Lauren,
Yes.
who plays Joy,
It's all about me right now.
you had a little pickle incident.
Yes.
You had a couple little incidents this episode.
Yes, I did.
Pickles and hamsters.
Yeah.
That's what it should have been called.
Yeah, it's a big episode for Joy in that sense, but I actually hate pickles, so it was really gross for me to touch them.
I was saying when we were watching, I thought I heard you say, I don't even like pickles.
No,
So,
it was a hard day. I really was upset.
This is one of the great things about having them here. We get all the inside scoop. Yes. And I don't know if you guys watched when Diona was on because she ratted you guys all out. But Diona has been with us before at AFTERBUZZ. She even came on her crutches.
That's why she's sitting all the way down.
She's an honorary host.
No, but it's so funny because every time we do the show, we talk about Joy and Mo and just how freaking cute are they? Are they not the most adorable? And she's so sweet, and he's so. I was just like, just.
Yeah, I know. And we need a second season so we can see
We
what
do
happens.
need a second season. Hashtag season 2, people. Yeah. No, it's so great. I know you.
I called it from the beginning.
Yeah.
I said that she was going to have an affair.
Ooh.
But, I mean, it didn't go that
We're
far.
pretty close at this point.
Oh,
It's getting
to that
But
point.
hey,
Yeah.
it's getting to that
Yeah.
point, so
I
Yeah.
know.
see.
It's crazy.
Can I just say, I'm jealous of the rooftop you guys are always hanging out on. on the top of episodes. Is that a thing?
I feel like I've heard you say this like every episode. It's like a common thing. Yeah,
You guys too. I should have told you guys this from the beginning. These guys are the best. That not only do they get together and watch their episodes, then when they're done, they watch us on AfterBuzz, which is fantastic.
Yeah, awesome.
We're big fans.
And Ryan got out of the car, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Mark." He's like, "Oh, I know who you are." And he's like, "How would he know?" Oh, that's right, they watch. So it was very sweet. They're very devout AfterBuzz fans, and Ashley even tweeted out a video complimenting us, which we thoroughly appreciate. But so, getting back to the episode, sorry, I digressed there for a moment. And Joy likes, you just have to save everybody.
Yeah, I know.
Pigeons, except for the cat.
Well, yeah, by that point, I don't care anymore. Cat can go to hell.
And the first one was a pigeon, right?
The pigeon, yeah, which we found that Lonnie threw it into the window, which is
really
upsetting, actually.
I thought that was going to be the pigeon that Dot Marie Jones punched in the face.
Oh, yeah. It might still be struggling for life, yeah.
Dot, for those of you that haven't seen that episode, Dot Marie Jones played Mo's mom, and she punches a pigeon. I mean, there's really no other way to say it.
It just blows up.
And
it made sense.
So out of nowhere, we were all like dying. I was like, did she just punch the pigeon? Literally feathers everywhere. It was fantastic. So that's what we're referring to. Yeah, and so then we do see Lonnie. You mentioned Lonnie. He is waiting for a date, which appears that he was stood up.
Yeah, I really want to know more about her.
Yeah. We didn't really. You saw her a little bit through the window. You saw her a little bit through the window.
The fact that she showed up and she's going out with him is very interesting.
That's a very PC way of saying it. It's very interesting. No, CJ also has joined us at AfterBuzz too. He's fantastic, and he should be watching. He said he was going to be watching and tweeting you guys or texting you. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have.
I haven't heard from him.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him.
He's avoiding Ashley. He's avoiding Ashley.
No, he's at a very important dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll let him slide this once since he did come join us. And then and Lonnie was going to take her to breakfast for French toast. So Lonnie. We just love Lonnie. He's the best.
Would any of you guys ever go on a date with Lonnie?
No.
I have.
Boys included. Okay, yeah, perfect.
It was great.
Why not?
Who was going to say yes? Who
I
was
might
like,
say yes to be
ladies love
nice.
cool
She would.
But then I wouldn't go again.
You moved.
I would definitely.
I'd move away.
He would be so honest. That would be incredible.
Yeah.
He would confirm or deny all of your fears about yourself.
That's true.
Lonnie says everything, like when you're sitting to having a conversation with somebody and you have a thought that's like you shouldn't say, Lonnie's the one. He's that voice, and literally sometimes is standing behind you saying exactly what you're thinking. It's hysterical. I'm going to keep saying hysterical. Just hashtag hysterical because it's hysterical. And we did find out a little tidbit of information about you, Mr. Ryan.
Yes.
Or Ben, sorry. I do know the difference between the actors and characters, by the way.
It's going to be okay.
Okay. Which I thought was hysterical, and I hope that this comes back, that you wore a fedora.
I'm sure it'll be thrown in second season, yeah.
I love
think
it.
we
It was
even
kind of
had
thrown
one.
out there, but I was like,
I'm sure we might have had one on set, and it got canned pretty fast from Max. He comes
Max
in.
hates hats.
Max hates hats.
yeah.
Or was it that you looked too hot
Unless
in
he's
it?
too good. He might have looked too good. Yeah, that was a problem. Yeah.
That was great. And then you have a interaction with Sal
Zigno, yes,
who
played
is,
by Eli Henry, who was a very nice guy in real life. He was just a guy who kind of tormented me through high school. He was always kind of for no reason. I mean, I guess not for no reason. I guess Ben was kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
All right.
In typical Ben fashion, it doesn't really go the way that he anticipates.
Exactly.
But it's all, and you say this all the time. You're always talking about Ben and how it always starts.
You always start so stingy every episode.
There's always
Cheapest human being in the world.
cheap.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw you, I was like, I don't know how I feel
I
about
know.
him.
Yeah.
By the end,
Jordana.
absolutely love you.
But you also said too that
He comes around.
And it's that love to hate. It's not like you could totally be playing that and just be obnoxious. You know, where people watch the show and they're like, that guy's just obnoxious. But you just love him.
It's
Like,
exactly
you know,
Ryan.
yeah.
I have a
it's
love-hate
completely-
relationship.
But not only that, at the end of every episode, you come around.
Yeah,
So,
for the most part.
Yeah,
For the
I
most
think they
part.
forget to write that until like we shoot that last scene. They're like, we need to like figure it out. This is just gonna be bad for him. We're gonna want him back. But yeah, no, you know, I think he does have a big heart. I think he just doesn't know how to show it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Good excuse.
That's it for me, guys. But thank you.
This is something else that we've talked about on our after shows is the guest spots. Like we mentioned, Dot Marie Jones and a couple other people that have
Conan
made
O'Brien.
it. Conan O'Brien's been on and stuff. But even not just them, like the big names, but the guy who played the stripper in the one episode, and the Debbies. Like, who? I didn't Google it, and I should have. Whoever's casting it,
Julie
is-
Ashton.
Yeah.
I'm
She
just
is the most
you
incredible casting director of all time.
good.
They are. She just. I don't. And we've. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's what I walk into every casting, like every casting thing. I'm like, well, you're so amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, she really is.
I mean, and I'm not leaving you guys out of this at all. 'Cause we have talked about this numerous times on our show.
Yeah.
That I was so happy that it wasn't the typical Hollywood. You know, we just need to have these names, and hopefully we'll throw it to the wall, and hopefully it'll stick. We just went out and got the best people for the parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
People that are believable, people that are endearing, people that are real, that people can relate to, and it's so refreshing, and that's why you people need to be watching this every episode.
Fun fact,
so
Julie
much.
Ashton actually casted me in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Oh, really?
I feel like she's good luck, so when I went into her, I was like, oh, this show's going, and I'm getting it. She's my lucky charm.
And well deserved at that. Well deserved. But the Debbies, Debbie with a Y and Debbie with an IE,
Debbies were
were
hilarious.
a hoot.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if they kept coming back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Add more characters to this. I mean, I remember like the second episode, I was like, okay, I need to write down everybody's names and their character names, just, you know, I gotta look like I'm kind of smart. And it was literally almost the entire page between the Doyles and the tattoo guy and everything, and I was just like, the balance, it's just, you said this, that the, yes, you, it's not like one person's, even if it's one episode where it's about you two, the next episode's about you two. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a good balance wwhere it's not like just, it's such an ensemble, and so great.
Yeah, and all the characters are so clear. Like, we watched the first episode, and we already knew everybody's names.
Yeah.
Well, the Doyles took us a while.
get
But,
confusing.
understand, we'll get to them in a minute, because that's a whole other show. Sorry, I'm slacking here because I should be moving right along. Charmaine.
Yeah.
I am going to apologize in advance because, like I said, I couldn't pause and rewind and write everything that, because I basically just rewrite her script in my notepad every episode, and it's just all these C's down my page that Charmaine said this. Make sure you mention Charmaine said this. It's always about them. I can't. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, well, first of all, we find out that you tried out for cheerleading, and you don't even have to say anything.
Yeah, no.
Just the looks on your faces sometimes is it.
What was your reaction when you found that out? When you're like, okay, Charmaine's gonna be, she tried out to be a cheerleader.
You know, the truth is, I was like, oh no, it's happening again. Because I was a terrible cheerleader in middle school. Oh yeah, like in real life Diona was, and on the first game, I like ran out and tripped and fell face down immediately and got up and went 2 steps and fell again. No, don't be sad for me. Look where I am now. I fell every game that entire basketball season. So I was like, I am scared for where this is going to end up. But it was great because Matt Cook is actually a really good cheerleader. Save that cheer.
Let's give a shout out to Matt Cook, who is actually is in Scotland still.
Yes.
Scotland. He's such a world traveler. He started at AFTERBUZZ too. High hopes. High hopes. What was I going to say? Oh, Diona, reunion. Don't even get me started on that outfit. Was fan-friggin-tastic.
Wasn't it,
with
though?
the yellow suspenders.
Yum.
Loved it.
Little Janelle Monáe. I love that. I tried to steal it. They were like, no.
And you also had really good dance moves, I'm not going to lie.
Oh yeah, the choreographer that came in was actually like really excellent. She listened to all the things that I was like, I cannot do this, and this. Did not make me do any of them. So I love her.
Yeah.
Were you nervous that the trip might happen again?
Well, I knew that someone could edit it out. So.
And I loved you doing the shots before you had to go up there, which is what she did before she came on here too. So
This is Jen.
life imitating art. And then we find out more about AJ and Daniel. I'm gonna make it.
Don't even
I'm gonna make it work.
Stop it.
So was it last episode?
That was last episode.
Last episode, you started it, right? You started calling her Daniel.
I started.
Oh, he's called her Dan. Her name's
boy,
Danny on the
AJ.
show, and he started. He called her Daniel, and she's like, "It's not going to stick." But then they all started calling her Daniel the whole episode.
It fits.
So
It's not. It doesn't.
Nice name.
Second season. Second
Full,
season.
it's strong, it's manly.
Yeah, it's great. It's powerful.
But even CJ, who played, I don't know his name, who played CJ.
H. Michael Kroner.
Again, like spot on. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he
he's
was
great.
annoying, but
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
perfect. Like,
Terrifically
That
funny
laugh,
guy, really.
Yeah.
It's like, whew.
and that moment where he's coming, and you're like, oh, should we go? And then you were like, oh, let's go. It was great. I don't know. Okay, I'm done.
This is every episode.
It's a freaking good
Honestly,
show.
I really liked that moment because I felt like I could see the tension between you guys and the history.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I thought you meant the
Yeah.
moment of him
Absolutely.
just describing.
I could see the tension and
really
history between
enjoying
you two. That was really magical for me.
Yeah, he got paid more to sit next to me, so it all balances out.
Which I appreciate.
And then again, too, we have the ending, that little sweet, tender. You're part of the group, and I mean the one that what is it?
Sort of.
Yes,
Sort
but
of part of the group.
But the part we don't.
The part we don't like. The part we don't like.
You're the part we don't like.
Oh shit!
And I'm the jerk on the show.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's the jerk.
I mean, everyone's pretty jerky.
Yeah. Well, even you at the
I know, I had
you
to
yelled
say.
at the cat. Yeah.
It is pretty funny when we're on set. We'll be like eating lunch together, and Ryan won't join us.
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
Just while we're filming.
He's method. He's
I'm
method.
Super
I'm very
method.
method.
Oh, so fantastic.
So obviously tonight's episode was surrounding a high school reunion. Have you guys ever been to a reunion, and was it anything like this one?
My high school reunion happened recently, but I didn't even know until after. I feel like they didn't invite anyone. They didn't invite anyone, right? I would have maybe gone, probably not. I think it was like a scavenger hunt or something. It sounded like really involved. And
Actually, my 10 year is coming up this year. This coming up here, in January. So I don't know if I'm gonna go. It's on the East Coast. I usually only go back for Christmas and to see the family and stuff. So I don't know,
Classic
maybe.
Ben.
We'll see if Mike goes with me. If Mike goes with me,
No, I will go. No, I will.
I would go to someone else's.
All of you guys. You guys all want to come to mine?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
We should go.
I really want to.
I think I'm gonna crash that.
We'll bring the AFTERBUZZ TV show. We'll do the whole thing.
Everyone will love you so much.
I don't. No, I definitely did not go to mine. I was confused. I had a couple high schools. I had High School Musical after my high school, so High School Musical 10-year reunion is coming up next year, so I'll go to that one. But
There you go.
yeah, 10 years next year. So I did. And all of that, forget about my actual 10-year at in Valencia, but so I didn't get to go.
Can I put Ashley on blast for a second?
Oh, no.
That yearbook
Don't
that we're looking at.
Good call.
It's actually Ashley's high school yearbook that we're like reading in the show. The
Yep.
props guy went to high school with her.
Went to
And
high
that
school with her.
picture though, that picture
Ashley was
though.
really cool about it, right?
His
She
name
was
is-
totally
she was
relaxed.
Really
and didn't-
relaxed and loved it. And,
Scream. We were rehearsing, and I was like, ah!
the prop guy, Chris London, who's an amazing guy.
He is so awesome.
Went to high school with her and came up to Mike and I was like, "Hey, check out that prop." And I, it's great. It's a yearbook, man. Calm down.
Like, no, really look.
Page 28. And I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I've been asking for a long time.
My
so that's
favorite part is that the entire cast, we have a group text that's happening at all times, and they decided to take a picture of the picture, but then even a zoomed in picture, and then even zoomed into my eye. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
She loved it. She didn't eat lunch with any of us that day.
I was so mad at you.
And Mike, have you been to your?
I think it's in 2 years from now. But I went to my grammar school one, but it was really
Grammar
sad.
school,
Yeah.
They do that?
It was incredibly sad because no one had really moved, so they all kind of still already lived in that area, and then everyone just kept acting like it wasn't a reunion.
What did you guys talk about? Were you like, remember we used to play dodgeball?
Kind of, yeah. It actually was a sort of a lot of that where I'd be like, "Man, you were really good at kickball." Yeah, that was fun.
That's amazing.
Any reunions in your future?
The only reunions that I've been to and that I plan on going to are family reunions.
Got it.
Like, and all my uncles always stand around like, these are some good greens. Who made these greens? Like, they're all just standing around, all in tracksuits, all with a Bluetooth in their ear. Every uncle I have dresses like that.
Well, I'll say this just popped in with you guys talking about the yearbook and you in particular, Ashley, is the episode, the flashback episode with you two.
Oh yeah,
that
was so cute.
We love that.
Adorable.
Yeah, we were all really jealous that
It
we
was
didn't get to
so
see.
like
We all
I
tried to
literally
get everybody on the
Yeah,
show.
we really
I was
did.
literally like, how did they get them to look so like it was so good? Like usually they do the flashback and you're like, okay, they combed his hair down and whatever. It was so believable. I was like, I don't understand. I was so confused.
You guys had braces too, right?
Yeah, you had braces on. It was
Well, they
looked
asked
so
us
good.
what we wanted to do, and we were both like, "Let's just do it. Let's
Yeah,
go
let's go
for
for
it."
it.
Yeah.
So I wore literally hardly any makeup, and then they just put these clear kind of braces on.
And I wore a ton of makeup.
He wore what she wasn't wearing. No, it was another great moment.
The first time we went to go shoot it, though, Mike started with a little voice, and Max was like, "That's way too young. You're not 10 years old."
Yeah, my base was about 10 years old. It was something like, "So, do you want a kiss?"
So funny.
Oh goodness! I mean, it's so good. I mean, I just since you're all here and I have an opportunity to say it to all of you at the same time. Thank you for what you're doing because it's so good and so refreshing to see something like just. I really feel like it's gonna break records. I just think it's better. Who am I? But that's
It's
my.
such a warm show too. Like you don't watch it and kind of go away with a bad taste in your mouth. You watch it and have the warm fuzzies at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because of the rooftop sitting stuff.
Here he goes again, Jim.
We'll get back to that.
I forgot the.
Yeah, we do love the rooftop. It's like probably our favorite set.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
not about the pigeons up there though.
No,
Yeah.
Which are real.
So for anyone who hasn't
Real
seen
pigeons.
a lot of the
And they're
episodes, we have like a
terrifying.
pigeon wrangler who comes to the show every week, and we'll have anywhere from 15 to 20.
200
pigeons up there.
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
300.
1,000. Yeah.
How's the pigeon that she punched?
Well, yeah, that one.
That one has passed out.
Don't talk about that.
And I forgot the most important thing about the episode. The Doyle sisters.
Oh, yes.
Okay, that
Their
hurts.
bar.
Who, by the way, were on AfterBuzz last week?
Yeah,
Last week.
Wow. 3 of them. Sorry, 3 of the 4 were there. We had Lisa, Dana, and Krista. Rhonda, Rosalie, and Robin.
Whoa.
That's a really
Yeah. This has taken me a while. Jordana still calls me and goes, wait, which one is the one that did it?
Still
It's
trying to
taken me a while, but I've gotten there.
There needs to be a flow chart.
They are, I said, even if it doesn't work out, I hope they get a spin-off.
Totally.
Just because
That
I
was
want, and we keep saying we want everybody to hook up with them. Like we love the episode where Ben
I was so happy
hooks
about
up with Rita,
Yes,
the
Rita.
one who's working in
Betsy,
the
yeah.
it's the best. It's
Yeah,
the
it was
best.
good.
Like we want you guys, like all of you guys.
Absolutely. Well,
We're all pushing for that,
when we
for
were
real.
shooting the pilot, we were all like, they were so amazing, and we had no idea who they were casting for those
Right.
characters. And when they came on, they were just obviously superstars. I mean, they were amazing, and we were like, our joke was, well, if we get canceled, can we be on your show? Because they really are. They're great.
so
They're all
good.
They're
fantastic.
fantastic. You should check out our our interview with them last week.
Well, speaking of the Doyle sisters, Dana was telling us that she got a haircut from you, Ashley.
She did.
And she was telling us that, she went to her hairstylist afterwards, and she said it was a bad haircut.
It was.
She's like, what did you do?
She wears a wig in the pilot when I did it, and for some reason, I think I was just like real. Well, I'm always committed, but I was like really wanted to impress my producers.
During the lines, not looking at it? What do you mean?
No, we had done our like cutting classes, and Dana was just like, oh my gosh, I was like, for the scene, I was like, is it okay if I trim your ends? Because like they were looking a little bad. I was like, I'm just gonna trim them. And she's like, okay, you guys have taken classes. Like, that's totally fine. I wouldn't say I'm like amazing at it, like I was just like, I'm good at faking it. But I guess when we came in for the first episode, she's like, don't touch my hair. And I was like, what happened? She's like, I went to my hairstylist. She's like, who the F cut your hair? And she's like, actually, Tisdale. And he's like, don't ever let her cut your hair again.
And it was just like this much.
It was so tiny.
The way she described how it was cut, I'm like, well, it doesn't sound like she cut that much. How could it really have been that bad? But so you two, and you all had how long of training, barber training?
Oh, we had like
right?
We had like a week for the
Yeah.
pilot and like 2 weeks when we went in.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you had a little.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to show it.
Get a close
Okay,
up
we're
on
not
that.
Show it.
gnarly scar.
I just cut my hand
he
really
was
badly on his
twirling the
scissors that I was
scissors.
confidently twirling.
It was one of the most horrifying days on
It was.
Because Mike was just like, okay, that hurt, and he just walked away. And then we saw it was like splitting open his whole hand.
Well, I noticed the bandage the other day on the episode, and I was like, oh, that must have been from where you cut.
And now we have.
I Googled you guys a little bit.
We don't have
more.
real scissors on set anymore.
So, yeah.
They're all
so
rubber.
we shouldn't trust you guys to cut our hair?
Definitely not.
Absolutely.
I mean, they gave us
Baby
the
derm.
sharpest scissors ever, and
Yeah.
we're like, we really don't cut hair, so this. I mean, we do cut the backgrounds, but we don't need that, like
Yeah.
a sharp scissor.
Yeah. So do we have anybody? I want to break the news here. If someone's allowed to say, is there going to be a season 2? I need to know, and I want it to be here on AfterBuzz.
I thought you were gonna tell us.
How did we get this info?
Well, I did sign up to get the. I know. I did sign up to get the. There was a thing you can sign up if you want to be emailed as soon as they decide. And I was like, I want to know. And I even did my real email. Like, I have the junk email. I was like, no, I want it on my phone. I want to know as soon as it happens.
We don't know yet, but I feel like it's very strong because I think honestly, this type of show is so exciting to be on just because it kind of reminds me of like with High School Musical and stuff. It's like that stuff was all fan based. That was all popular because of the fans. It wasn't because like Disney knew it was going to be like something big. And it's really honest, like this show, like nobody's forcing it to become something, and it's really the fans that are watching it that it is becoming something. But also just because we all have so much like fun with each other, it's like honestly the best thing.
I think that you can see that when you're watching the show. It's like that we all do actually love each other. I mean, we're all always talking, like she was saying. We have a group text that is constantly going, whether it be at 4 a.m. when Mike decides he wants to ask a weird question. But it's like, we all do really love each other, and
it feels special. It's just like it feels different from a lot of stuff that you work on. That you're just like, it just feels really
and it
special.
shows.
It definitely shows. It shows to folks in Brazil and Russia. By the way,
Especially.
They are going to know if we have a season 2 before we.
Yeah, they will. They'll know. Ask them.
Yeah, they probably will be.
I don't know if any of you guys know. We're talking about Clipped Brazil and Clipped Russia. They started Twitter accounts, and they're constantly tweeting us, sending us pictures, and
wanting us to do
amazing.
pictures so that they can tweet them out.
It's
I get
amazing.
my pictures from them.
We actually, that's not even.
They find pictures of us before we know who it is.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. We're like, where did you get these?
Yeah.
We love them.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's gonna be okay.
I might have mentioned that once or twice. I wanted to ask you. I think we're kind of getting into the Q&A part of this.
Sure.
Yeah.
But your friendship with Mo.
Yeah.
Is just I was going through our past episodes just to kind of refresh my memory about some of the old episodes, and the episode where you give him the Batman shirt.
Yes.
It's just so like it just I just talk about you and Mo.
I mean, Mo and Ben are. I mean, they've been best friends since they were 9, and they're like each other's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are, and I think. I keep him sane, or Ben keeps Mo sane, and Mo keeps Ben sane. I mean, I think it's kind of, you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
We have our weird quirks, have our weird moments, but I don't know. I think that that's kind of how we are in real life, Matt and I as well. Don't get jealous, man.
I'm over it. I don't care.
but yeah, I mean, it's a great friendship, and I think there's a lot. If we get a second season, there'll be a lot more to show.
Yes.
They're really good friends in real life, and they like to scare the shit out of
everybody. We do.
Oh
yeah, they always prank us.
Everyone keeps talking about how you scare them.
Well, I started with my girlfriend's roommate. I scare him all the time, and I'm gonna start putting these videos up on my Instagram.
Yeah, like why are you holding them back?
Why
are you saving these?
Because he wanted me to put them up, so I was like, I'm gonna put them up.
No, I'm talking about the ones of us.
Oh, the ones of you guys? I had a couple failed ones, and I started with Matt. I think Matt was the first one I tried to get, and he was like, you can't scare me. And then he decided to start scaring everyone else, so we kind of joined in. But I think Matt has most of them.
Oh.
And Matt gets to the point where he'll climb scaffolds.
Yeah.
He'll be above you and throw things down at you.
Scare the shit out of you.
It's really scary.
Terrifying.
So we have fun.
You have fun.
There is no video of me being frightened in any of these, but there was one that was being recorded, and I was terrified, but I just didn't react. And then afterwards, I was like, "You guys will never get me." And I went in my room, and I just was like, "Oh."
The best one. There's a video of Lauren not being scared. They weren't trying to scare Lauren, but Lauren got scared by the scaring process, even though she knew the scare was coming.
Yeah, it was very so many levels to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Inception.
How hard is it to keep a straight face when you guys are doing scenes together?
Sometimes
it's actually impossible.
Yeah.
It's usually really hard, I think, for us when we're like in the background of a scene. I feel like we always mess with each other, and we're kind of
I think that's the worst part.
That's the hardest part, because it's like you don't want to just be laughing in the background and ruin it for everyone else.
You'll always hear like Max being like, "You guys are on camera."
There's mirrors on set, so you can see you from anywhere. Yeah. So.
And any scene where you just have one line, for me, is actually impossible not to laugh every time that I give it. You just keep waiting, and you're like sort of repeating it in your head.
And you got my quote of the week 2 weeks ago. I have to find my note now, and after I open my mouth, now I got to read it. What was it? It was about. Oh.
I love that one.
Here we go. When you said, "Why do you think I called this place Buzzies?"
Who would want to get their hair cut at a place called Little Assholes? It's also Matt Cook's favorite line.
with a lot of people.
And then last week you had the quote of the week.
Great.
And we just started. We always talk about, and Diona, you probably would have had all the other ones if we were officially doing it. But then you had last week's when. Every episode. When he has
every creep begins with K.
So Ben comes out.
My expense.
Yeah, I guess so. He comes out. He bought his mom an open heart necklace from the JC collection. And she goes, "Every creep begins with K." It's good that I watch it alone at AFTERBUZZ, because I just sit in that room and they're probably like, how many people are in there? Yeah.
If you guys could name a scene from the season that was your favorite to shoot, what do you think that would be?
I would have to go. I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in. I would have to go and say the wedding episode.
That's
where
what I
we
was
all
going
did
to say.
Oh my God, that was so much
It was so
fun.
much fun, and it was like we actually that week we did a closed set. We didn't have any live audience or anything like that, because it was just so much. I mean, that's when we had the most people on set and the most background, and we had this like small area to do this like kind of crazy big dance number in, and it was amazing. It turned out so well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they cut like half.
They cut so much.
Really.
Yeah,
It was like, we're hoping, that they'll have
Release
it
unedited.
Yeah.
It was originally
Ryan's like
20
whole
minutes.
entrance was amazing.
But it was good. It was fun. That was probably my favorite.
That was
favorite
good.
episode to really work on together.
I think my favorite was when Mo's dad shows up to the bar.
Oh yeah.
That was just a joy to watch.
Oh, see, we're making you people want to go see these episodes, aren't
go
we?
see 'em.
Yes, it's so good. Lauren?
The wedding was my answer, so you stole that.
Deal with it.
And I also loved working with Dot Marie Jones. I'd worked with her once before, and she's so cool and fun, and I think she really livened up our set for the week. So it was really fun to have her. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was funny
so
too,
good.
because that was that 2-week period that I was employed at Warner Brothers. And I saw her actually walking through the lot, and I was like, oh, there's that. And then she popped up. I was like, that's why she was there.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
Diona?
I think I love all the scenes where we're just hanging out and eating.
Yeah.
They
On
give
the
us,
roof?
yeah, they on the roof.
Yeah.
You knew it. They give us whatever food we want, and then we end up like actually sitting and talking and eating. So I love that.
Yeah.
Well, all of you have like a really close relationship. You know, you guys are all friends. But did any of you work together before?
No.
No.
Ashley and I have known each other since
Yeah, we've
since
known each
I was,
other
like, 15,
for
so
so long.
Yeah. To the point where I'm like,
Yeah.
more of you.
We
But
weren't
yeah.
friends like at the time we booked this. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. No, we hadn't seen each other for a long time, and I was just like, oh, Ryan's on the show.
I was just before we did this. We were doing an interview, and I was asked, how long have you known Ashley? And I was like, actually, I didn't know that she was on the show, like that she'd been casted on the show until I was walking to the first table read.
Oh, interesting.
And I was walking to the table read. I think it was
Oh, yeah, because we saw her name on the door, and we were like, oh, she's on.
And I was like, what?
And I was like, I'm back.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
nice.
cool. It's cool because like we've just like he's like we've known each other for so long. So
Yeah.
it's like awesome to be on a show that you've known someone for a long time.
And she's like gets to talk trash to me all day.
I just love it.
You didn't get to say your favorite.
Oh, my favorite. Oh, well, there's so many favorites, but I really did like. My favorite to shoot was actually when I go to AJ's door, because it was kind of like a whole thing, and I love when we got into more of like the Danny and AJ just like finding out what was happening, and like that was just so much fun, just because I just had fun like playing off of Mike, and like it was my first time kind of doing like more of a monologue, I guess, and I was kind of scared to do it, but then I felt really good about it after. So I think that was like just something fun to shoot.
Which, by the way,
AJ's
your apartment.
Okay, yeah.
I know, right?
Amazing.
I want that.
Yeah.
I want that apartment.
Amazing. Love it.
It looks like there's a lot of rust, I feel like, if you take a
But it's
close
just
look.
bad.
Yeah, it's
Bad bleep. Because I can't say the other part. Bad A.
Oh, okay.
Right. Well, because I'm afraid you're going to yell at me.
I do have to say that Mike is like, he's such a great guy, and I did do he is a really great guy. No, I actually tested with him because he was already hired. I wasn't. So from the start, our chemistry, I think, started from that, just kind of having somebody who like was kind of always there and was just super supportive with me, like in the room, and kind of you're like scared, and it's like the network and you're just like nervous, but he was always so awesome, and he's been like that with me like since day one. So it's so nice to kind of you know this already.
It's like that tender end of Cliff. Yeah, it gets real
we got the
serious.
fuzzies.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Matt Cook, actually, since he's not here.
I know,
Yes.
And another one of my favorite scenes was doing the crying scene with Matt. That was so good that I just wanted to say, since he's not here.
We
He's
started
sending us
dying
pictures right now.
Yeah, he's
sending
like
us
texting
pictures
us.
of
He
us.
is?
Oh, that's
He's
oh,
watching.
that was so good.
Oh, okay.
Matt, I love you.
Always so creepy.
I'm gonna take a picture.
Oh, he is sending us pictures.
Deanna,
Yeah, sorry.
one of when I was going back rewatching stuff, the scene I had totally forgotten about with you and Deanna when she convinces you that you should be going after her,
Right,
how
yeah.
cute she is. Here we go. And you're eating the Chinese. You know where I'm going with this.
I do.
And he asks you what cologne are you wearing, or perfume are you wearing?
Annoyance by Charmaine.
And then when you get to Ashley to tell her what he did, do you remember what your line? When
The box of chocolates?
Yeah, the Forrest Gump. Do you remember that?
Oh, that Forrest Gump tried to get him a box of chocolates. Yes.
Oh,
That was a really fun scene to shoot, too.
That was a great scene with the two of you.
That was so good.
Yeah, that was.
That was my
fun.
first even almost kiss on screen. I've never had a kiss on screen, so that was the closest. And we got pretty.
We closed
they cut
in,
it.
yeah.
but They almost had us seal
Yeah.
the deal.
Well,
Originally, we were supposed to.
Yeah, we were
deal.
going to kiss.
Yep.
Me and Ashley.
Well, we always
We
talk.
would have had a season 2 right now. They let us do it.
Well, we were always talking about who we want because we think there should be a lot more mix matching.
Totally.
And you
Me.
predicted
Ben?
Well, I
Ben
actually,
would be with the
I
Doyle
actually
sister?
rewatched that episode, and you didn't say Ben, you said Mo.
What?
I'm totally calling you out on live television.
I totally thought.
I did. I know. I was like, oh, I thought he said Ben, and it was Mo. But yeah, he predicted that. Well, he did. He said Mo, but you guys both said that they thought one of the guys was going to hook up with a Doyle.
Okay.
And it just happened to be Ben was the lucky one, which was a fantastic
yeah.
episode too. The go below.
Yeah, that group scene was also incredibly fun to do.
Oh yeah,
That
and
was
watching
really
Betsy
awesome.
and Ryan do
Yeah.
that back and
Betsy
forth.
do
was
that
fun.
dinosaur, yeah.
And then the tattoo parlor scene.
Oh,
with
Skylar Stone.
Genius.
I was so sick when we did. I had a
unbelievably ill.
crazy fever, and Skylar Stone is such a pro that I was like, "This is gonna be great," and it was.
It was great.
Because Diona gets sick, and then she like does a scene. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you're not sick.
a little fun fact, not really fun, but
get to it.
every week there was actually one of us was like
Really ill.
sick.
Yeah.
Really?
Like there was like a bug that just wouldn't leave set. Like one person would
But
get
it was always
sick.
like a different thing
Yeah, it was
for
like,
each person.
it was
like
weird. It was like
Yeah.
really,
Mine was my cut.
week one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
you caught that cut.
How are you guys feeling right now?
We're good.
Very well.
No, great.
We're finally all healthy.
Yeah, we're like I've never been healthier.
Really good.
So I have a question for you, Mike. So, okay, AJ on the show, he's like passionate about baseball, loves baseball. And I was wondering if you were passionate about it because I know you have a tattoo.
Sure.
And it's 42.
Sure.
And so I was wondering.
Jackie
there we
Robinson.
go. Yeah.
No, it has
so-
nothing to do with that. But I've been really, really scared someone would ask me a question about baseball because I know absolutely nothing. Like truly, profoundly little. And I grew up in Chicago where there are two teams to care about, and I didn't care for either.
So that's not a real tattoo then?
Oh, it's
It's a
so
real
real, but it
tattoo.
just has nothing to do with baseball.
Oh, did you want to say what it's for?
It's a long
I'm just,
story.
yeah, it is a long story, but
Ashley's like, don't ask.
it's
Please
basically
don't
just a
have
plug
time.
for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is just a book I love.
Okay.
So we always thought it was, a reference to baseball. I'm like, oh, maybe he does like baseball.
Yeah.
I think that's why they kind of let him.
Yeah, I feel like that's why
It
it's
worked
skated.
well.
Well, I
over,
kept
yeah.
seeing it for the first. So I wasn't until I think last
The Doyle
episode
sisters.
that I actually saw it, and I was like, oh, it's a 42. Isn't that base? Because I know about as much as you do.
Yeah.
But I was like, 42. I
like-
think that's a baseball.
And
thing.
I like to think that like AJ went and saw 42.
Yeah, and he
That's
just
amazing.
loves
He
it.
wasn't even just like,
Yeah.
he was just like, oh, this is such a good movie.
Yeah.
I gotta get that too. Yeah.
The idea of AJ being like baseball integration, that's what I've got to get on my body.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Going off of that really quick, what do the rest of you think your similarities and differences are between you and your characters?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't share much in common with Joy.
Really?
I really don't think I do. I love
You are really
sitting.
You do love sitting.
But yeah, Joy is really wholesome, and I don't think. I mean, if
you're
anyone has
not
ever heard
wholesome.
any of my comedy, I don't think you would think that I'm.
No,
So you
it's a
can-
little dirty.
Yeah, it's a little not like that. But I appreciate her and I enjoy playing her. It's just it's a departure.
Yeah.
You share everything.
We already
with
know
your character.
you're
No,
mean in
sure,
real life,
I'm
too.
just like.
But for real, Ryan is so not like him at all. Ryan's the
Yeah, no,
sweetest
he's
and
really
greatest
good.
hugger I've ever
Thanks,
met.
man.
Real low hugs. But they're hugs.
Right?
No, I'm it's easy to play someone like that. I'm not like him at all. I mean, in real life, I couldn't be that person. Like,
Right.
I would freak out and clam up. I don't think I could be that person. But, this is kind of a character that I've played. Not specifically this character, but the loudmouth, fast-talking kind of guy is kind of something that I've been playing for a while. So I think it's why maybe I'm so comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But no,
I loved your shimmies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
very.
all me. That is.
That's all right.
Yeah, but no, I don't think I'm anything quite like Ben.
Ashley.
I don't know. I mean, I think that when I think of Danny, I think she's just so much cooler than me. So I don't share that. I don't know. Like, it's hard. And every character I play, I always feel like there's a piece of me there. So
Yeah.
I can't say I'm like super different from her, but I think that she's a little tougher than me.
Uh-huh.
And I think she's like the one that runs with the guys, and I think I'm a little bit more sensitive. So the things we do share probably is like her clothes. I like her fashion sense. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, like, it's just so hard to talk about your character in that way, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Mr. Mike?
Oh yeah,
Magic Mike.
Thank you. He's like a much cooler version of me. Like I went to high school with him.
Got it.
I know that guy.
Got it.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Miss.
I think Charmaine is like my Sasha Fierce. Beyonce has Beyonce, and then she has her alter ego, Sasha Fierce.
Yeah.
I think Charmaine is my Sasha Fierce. Yeah. I don't think I'm as mouthy as she is, but thinking back to it, I think that may not be true. I love how ride or die she is for her friends, though. So I think I do have that. My friends know that I will roll deep for them.
Yeah, she rolls deep.
Just wanted to say that.
She's been wanting to say that forever.
She's been trying to work roll deep into conversations. So long.
No, I mean you did bring us in and out, so
that is the definition of rolling deep in this case.
Now, do any of you guys have any questions that you would like to ask our lovely panel? I got to start with Maria.
It's a little hard to not have a million questions because that's what I do. So I'm sitting here, I'm like.
Basically, I'm not doing my job.
No. You guys answered a lot of them. But I guess, so many, but the fact that you guys get along so well, is that normal for a cast?
I don't think so. I feel like it's something people say a lot, but we actually all hang out.
Yeah,
like I feel like that's a different thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll work on things and I'll be like, oh, I really get along with him, or I really get along with her, but like the whole cast, it almost is kind of weird. Like I'll wake up some days and be like, what? I'm friends with all of them?
And you guys, I don't know if I said this before, you guys all get together to watch the episodes.
Yeah.
We actually
and
have to
watch
AfterBuzz.
which is fantastic. So that's,
I think for me, I love creating kind of like families, like on sets, just because you spend so much time. But it's a different feeling. It's a feeling that just like we just automatically became super close, and it's like to me tonight is sad just because we went from like working together every single day, and like I just like will go into Lauren's dressing room and hang out with her and just like have girl talk and Diona, and like then it went from that to being like, oh, we only see each other Tuesday. Well, not we only see each other, but like we see each other, we know every Tuesday night, and now it's like. Now we have to really schedule seeing each other. It's like, I can't wait to like, just be together all the time.
Yeah.
Before we go into any, no, you go first.
You got more power. I want you to go.
I want to hear yours.
Oh, okay. Every show I've ever, or anything I've ever been in, I'm always the enemy of everyone else in the cast. That's just like my thing. I go in with that energy. And I really tried it on this show. Everyone can attest that. I tried over and over, and they just wouldn't let me do it.
I love you, Mike.
Thank you.
And you call it's Thai Tuesdays, right?
Thai Tuesdays, we have Thai food. I love these humans. They're like really great people.
I have to say, everybody who has come on before, they've all talked about how much they love you guys and how well you guys get along. That's been the most consistent. Even the Doyles said it. Even the Doyles. Anybody else?
My question is for Diona.
Hey.
Hi. I'm wondering if you could grace us with your Whoopi Goldberg.
Yay!
Let me just alert the people at home who are listening. Diona's about to do a Whoopi Goldberg.
I also feel like she's been acting up lately, so I haven't been doing it. Like, she's defending people that don't deserve defending. But I always imagine her being like, you know who I can't stand? It's Joy Bear. She just gets right in your ear. She's just right there. And all of a sudden you're like, Joy, get out of my ear. I just imagine her like that all the time. Ryan Pinkston also does a Whoopi Goldberg
impression. I know, but you just you killed it.
Anybody?
How's working with Lauren?
Oh my God.
It's amazing.
It's the best.
That was
so
He's in Chicago right now, so that's why we can't.
If you didn't hear, she asked how it is working with George Wendt, who plays Buzzy.
And he's in Chicago, and we would love him to be here right now. But it's amazing working with him. I mean,
He's so awesome.
He's just, and he's not. I mean, we don't even consider him like the older guy. I mean, he really is just one of the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that
He's
guy's
the nicest guy ever.
Yes.
He has more jokes than anyone on the show.
Yeah. He's the absolute
hilarious.
best.
He's made me cry several times, like during takes.
By
and
being
Max
mean.
is like, stop, because I'm saying my lines like, yeah, I can't stand you, and I just sobbing. I love him.
I have a question. Well, first of all, I want to give you a shout out and congratulate you for your website, The Hot Mess.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know, what inspired you
To do the
start
Hot
it?
Mess?
Yeah.
Well, that just actually a year and a half ago, I kind of wanted to do a blog, and And then a lot of people were doing them, so I was like, I want to do something different, and so I just decided to come out with the Hot Mess, where I wanted to be able to support other friends who were doing blogs, because everybody's like, there's a lot of people doing it. And I just like the idea of having a site where, it's empowering other women, and that I'm like getting to share like contributors that aren't really out there yet or don't have an audience yet, and I get to share my spotlight with them. So I'm having so much fun with it.
I was surfing it the other day, and I was like, this is actually quite helpful. I was like, even the boys, I'll put it in quotes, for me, was helpful. I was like, there's a lot of, it's everything. It's clothing, it's food, it's fitness.
Yeah, hangover tips,
everything.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's so many good.
How to get a hangover.
Spelled H-A-U.
The Hot Mess is H-A-U-T-E, mess. It's really a hot mess, but we call it the Hot Mess. No, it's a guide for girls and who like, it's just, there's so many blogs that everybody's trying to be like, perfect, and the perfect hair and the perfect fashion, and this is like the real girl, like the chick that's just within all of us. Even you.
Even me.
Anybody else have a question? Ooh, our Wisconsin girls.
When you're filming, do you ever get to go off script and just kind of say?
She asked if they're on set, if they're allowed to go off script.
Like improv.
They can improv.
Sometimes.
Remember we did that whole thing?
Yeah. I mean, I think the best way to
Season
explain
1.
The best way to explain it is that we have so many fantastic writers on the show, and we also only have a certain amount of time that we're allowed each episode. And sometimes we are given the chance to improv, but other times we abuse that privilege.
Sure.
There was, for instance, Ashley was just talking about a time where Mike and Ashley went back and forth and said "dude" about 50 times, and it was really funny. But Max literally had to go, cut, come on, what are you doing?
We exhausted the dude part.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes we get to improv, and
especially if you don't know your lines.
Yeah,
like if you're not.
down. So Mike is always improving. Yeah.
Also, Max likes to whisper to Mike to say something absolutely crazy to me to get my reaction for some weird, I don't know why, because I don't even think we use them, but because he uses like the words that come out of his mouth are pretty crazy.
They're illegal.
It's in front of the live audience. He just says something to me in the middle of the scene. I'm like, but I'm not trying to break character. So I'm just like, are you kidding me?
That's very fun.
It's good for the gag reel.
Anybody? My question is, why is it that some of your characters, like Ben and Mo, have accents and some don't?
She asked about their accents, why some of them have an accent and some don't.
By the way, I just have to say, I love you sort of translating like a UN translator.
I want to have like
I'm just making sure everybody can hear
people at home.
I genuinely
being responsible.
I feel like I'm answering.
Lauren, do you want to
I
go?
think there were a few different reasons for that, but one of them, like we had a day where we kind of all tried to do the accent, and we had dialect coaching and stuff, and which was really fun. But I think at least for the girls, the accent can come out a little harsh, and it kind of changes the character a little bit. So for me, like my character is so sweet that when I was kind of talking with that Boston accent, like I kind of sounded really aggressive. So they're like, let's tone it down. So I think that's
for all the girls, I guess
Deanna has a different accent.
I have a different accent. Charmaine isn't from Boston, so that's that. And actually, it's just because I can't do a Boston accent. I got cast without it. So.
Well, I
remember George saying that he didn't want us to be the TV show The Departed.
Exactly. I think there is something about if you watch a good show, like even Cheers. Like Cheers, not everyone had a Boston accent. Like you don't have to force it because not everyone has to be from Boston.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people have asked me like your accent sounds kind of like you're from New York and Boston and actually, it's funny because Max and I, when I first came in, I was like, I would like to think that my backstory is like my father was from New York, and that my mother is a strong Massachusetts woman, and that's kind of what it is. I mean, it's real life. Not everyone, you meet people with Boston accents out here.
Yeah, people in Boston. Not everyone in Boston has a strong Boston accent.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of why, and we didn't want it to be just a bunch of crazy accents all over the place, like the Departed.
And mine is just very, very understated, but it is there.
Yeah.
He's trying to work it out of his character.
Episode by episode, it's a little less.
Yeah, that's it.
If you guys could anybody guest star for season 2, who would be at the top of your list?
Who would they like to have as a guest on season 2?
There it is.
Deanna.
There it is.
You guys said some good ones earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see Rhea Perlman from Cheers. I think that'd be really fun.
That'd be
and a
great.
cool
That
reunion.
would be great.
Ashley and I are both friends with Zac Efron, so we would like to have him on the show. And we
I'd like to cut his hair.
I'd like to shave his head bald. We actually did try to get him this season, but
he was so
really
busy,
so we couldn't get him. But we're hoping season 2.
Magic Mike.
Barack Obama.
Yeah!
Mike, we already told you that.
Oh, no on that? No.
All he's been asking for. He keeps hounding Julie.
I just let him come.
My mom. My mom came and visited set, and she sort of won hearts and minds.
She won her on the show?
What'd you say?
Your mom on the show?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
That'd be
she's amazing. She's so good.
She was her own little show on the
Yeah, she was amazing.
She started chant. We had to stop takes because she was starting chants.
It was the episode where Ben fires Charmaine.
Okay.
And she started a whole chant with the audience saying,
It was like, Diona,
bring
Benjamin back. Bring Charmaine back.
It was like the whole audience.
All of us were like,
amazing.
suddenly like, the audience doesn't really know our characters yet. And suddenly it was like the third episode we were shooting. We're like, everybody loves Diona.
Like, as soon as I got fired, as soon as Ben was like, you're fired, my mom was like, boom!
No,
ruining everything.
She actually took me aside in between scenes,
Yeah.
Go. You had a question?
Oh, hey, you guys mentioned that you had a lot of fans in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So I sent that much better picture
Yeah.
to Clip Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Tweet me back.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
They said, oh my God. I love you and that cast so much.
That's them, all right.
And that's
They love you already. Look at
Love to
They're very loving people, Brazil.
They are.
And they said, can they sing Just Getting Started?
Oh, the
The
theme
song.
song.
Yeah,
I always
Ashley
actually,
definitely.
no, I don't
Ashley,
really.
all the time.
No, but I do like when we were watching. I'm like, we're just getting started. I get into it, but yeah, I definitely don't know the words.
I do.
I do. I know. I was like, Lauren and I do. I'll sing it if you'll sing it.
Go.
Okay, great.
Do you guys know it?
It's time to show the world what they're waiting for. Something that they've never seen. I just throw myself out
Amazing.
All right, you guys. I think that's a perfect way to end this. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you. And fingers crossed, everybody. I need you to tweet it out there. They say if you put it in the universe, it'll happen.
Yeah.
We want a season 2. Make sure you go home and catch all the episodes
Yeah.
online.
Watch the season
And
again.
actually, what I've been saying to everyone on Twitter is just tweet at TBS. And
Tweet,
just tell her
tweet at
the hell
TBS. Definitely do it.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for being big supporters of us,
Yeah,
being
yeah.
supporters of
Great
you.
job.
Thank you guys
And
so
thank
much.
you for
Yeah.
thank you for being such big supporters of the show.
Yeah.
We
It's-
love it.
and before we go, because it's we're talking about this political stuff, I want to do a little question on the way out. Can I get a show of hands from our people up here who is committed to being on AfterBuzz for season 2?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of
Now you got it! All right. Thank you guys again for coming out. We will see you for season 2! Both!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.